I'll just do this.
On a bed sheet.
I'll try and do this. Which one is it? This one? No, that's the spinny one. How do I just... There. How's that?
I mean, I've seen more professional TV sets.
The question is, are we the right way around this week?
Not on there, but we might be on YouTube, might we?
What I tried to do was
see
if we're actually live yet.
We're just vamping, guys, as we always do at the beginning of a live, because we never know if people have found us, joined us, if it's worked.
I don't think we're on yet.
We've got some buffering going on.
We're on, and
we are flipped.
We are backwards. Turns out YouTube flips the video, so then I've turned mirroring off on the phone to try and trick it into being the right way. No matter what we do, YouTube always shows the video flipped. Anyway, enough of that. Shall we start the show?
Shall we? Are we all like happy that everything's going off?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put my professional face on. You ready? Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans, and welcome to another Disneyland Paris show. My name's Lucy. This here is a little Bonnie, although she's not as little as she used to be. This is a massive human. What we are missing here, around here, is a Chris. Chris is in Guys and Dolls, and they do a Sunday matinee, so he's all kind of in the aftermath of that now, so unable to join us. But this means that next week he will finally be back, and he will be mere days from his own Disneyland Paris trip. We're going to be able to like quiz him on his plans. He's going to give us a blow by blow what he wants to do. He's going to talk about his bucket list. But that, guys, is next week. For now, let's just talk about the weekend that we've had before we see who's in the chat.
We need to bong.
Oh.
Reach some headlines.
Bong.
A Stitch in Time.
By the shore.
Dreams come true.
Hoist the sails. Sails? Sails.
Take pride, lads.
Take pride.
Lads.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's coming up.
Lovely. That's your headlines.
Can you decipher any of that?
And then did we have a trip report later on? Or a discussion point?
Not a trip report. No, we've got a question in the Facebook group. We've got a shout out to do. All sorts of things.
Fabulous. Good stuff.
So what were you going to say?
I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on the Rains weekend, and then we can go over to see who's in the chat. But the star of the family, Bonnie Rain, has been in Bugsy Malone this weekend, haven't you?
Yes.
So you've been playing Fizzy. So Bonnie has been backstage and on stage and everything Thursday, Friday, Saturday matinee, Saturday. I have been stage handing the same production. So I have been pushing pedal cars on and off the stage and bars and things like that, which is a bit out of my comfort zone as well. And then we had the get out of the theatre last night where everything needs to get on a van. And Hugh rocked up. He'd had a couple of pints, I'm not going to lie. He rocked up at 10 p.m. and started throwing flats on a van. So we are all exhausted. I'm throwing that up there right now because I'm aware that at some point my voice might start going like this.
Me too.
But it's been adrenaline fueled fun exhaustion, hasn't it, Bonnie? It's all positive. It's all fun. And we'll just say well done to Bonnie because it was a big deal and she did very well.
Brava.
Brava, Bonnie. Brava, Bonnie.
Backstage.
Right. It's backstage. Well, the bar nearly got on every time it was meant to, so you can thank me for that. Right.
Should we see who's in the chat?
Who's in the chat?
First in the chat today was Bonnie.
Of
Well done,
course.
Bonnie. Let me flip over to all messages, not top messages. All messages. Don't make a difference. We don't have enough for that to make a difference, but just in case. Joy is second in the chat. Hey everyone, can't wait for the show. My op didn't go to plan and I was awake for it all. So I didn't shout out anything about tiki cups. However, I'm now booking a 2026 trip, so I need all the info.
Good. We have 2026 info. I'm sorry about your op. That sounds absolutely awful. Having had general anaesthetic, it's quite magical when it does work. So if it doesn't, I dread to think what it's like. Anyway,
Well, I saw that you rocked it, you said on your social media.
much love
So,
to you,
hope
much
hope you're
love.
feeling well. We got John in the chat. Hey pals, hot and muggy in it. Do you know what they say in Hull when it's muggy? Ooh, ain't it close? It's close, isn't it? It's close. It's close. It's close. It's close.
Close.
What do you say?
Subterrane.
That's what my friend said. I've mentioned it a couple of times on my
On
my
the vlogs.
videos, but we were doing an English exercise, and he said
How old were you?
about 9 or 10, and he
Okay.
said, "What's the word I'm looking for?" He says the clouds were sempt to rain, meaning like it looked like they were going to rain, and he made up this word sempt, and we still say.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
If it looks like it's going to rain, we say, "Oh, it's sempt to rain."
It's getting to the point now where I'm forgetting it's not a real
Yeah,
word
yeah.
though, because as a family we use it quite a lot, don't we?
We've got Jen in the chat. Sorry to hear about your op, Joey. I hope you're doing okay. And Emily says, evening all. I've been listening in through the week lately. 36 days till our first Disney cruise and 171 days till our next Christmas stay at Davy Crockett. Disney Blues will be hitting hard, as we know we can't do Christmas 26. Chris wanted to say he apologises he didn't get the audio version of the podcast out this week, but he'll have both done this week. So there'll be 2. Okay. Actually, we've got, while we're doing shout outs, we got a message from Sarah who wanted to give a shout out to, the message is, "Hi there, Disney pals. Can I please ask you say a big 37 Disney Street happy birthday to my best friend and sister, Helen, aka Nell, for Monday, the 30th of June. That's tomorrow.
Oh.
She's my Disney partner in crime, always planning the next trip, showing no shame with the must-have new Disney merch. Life wouldn't be the same without a little fairy dust and my little sis."
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you as always, Sarah.
I don't have a sister, I have a big smelly brother, so I'm jealous of you. And also, Nell's a beautiful name, and just plain old shout out like you asked us for, and none of the details. Do you know what that was like?
You have to sing it.
You know when someone says I like your shirt, and then you give them too much information afterwards? That's what I just did for that shout out. All I have to say is, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Okay. We are.
Happy birthday. My voice is a little hoarse, so that's the best we can do.
Oh, it sounds more like a pony.
I was shouting and laughing too much last night. Right, so back into the chat here. Who else have we got? Andrew is here, Andrew H, and we got Ruthie and voiceover guy, who says, "Oh, hello. I know you are back, but we are 109 days away from Walt Disney World."
Wow. No, but
Well done.
you are 10 days away from allowed to go on to the next level of excitement, okay?
We're going to pop round.
So, I mean, that's good, that's fun, good for you.
Yeah.
You can't ramp it up for another 10 days, resist.
Yeah.
And then you've got to wait till 60 days, and then 30 days, and then 7. Them's the rules, isn't it?
We're going to pop round, guy, and we're going to give you a blow-by-blow account of our trip, because we live quite near, don't we? Ed is in the chats, as is Andrew P and Gina and Carla. Hi everyone, staying in London tonight as I travel to DLP tomorrow to celebrate my 40th birthday.
In London!
In London!
And happy 40th. Welcome to the 4th shelf. Let me tell you what happens when you hit 40.
Here we
Your
go.
knees, kaput. Reading glasses,
My knees are fine.
suddenly a thing.
Yes, your eyesight does like go.
Yeah.
I now have varifocals or progressive lenses, and yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So enjoy that.
40s are great because you know who you are and you know what you want out of life, but everything starts dropping off.
And you get to roll your eyes at younger people, which I don't think you can really do until you hit 40. You can do it in your late 30s, but it's really got genuine impact when you pass 40.
40s are fun.
Yeah.
Naughty 40s. Andrew says, well done, buddy. As you saw. As does Carla. And Jen says, woohoo. Laura says, hi everyone, just booked the Disney Hotel for the first week of December. So excited. Please say hi to my daughters, Caitlin and Emily, who are watching with me. Hi, Caitlin and Emily.
Hi, Caitlin and Emily.
Woo,
You are
boy.
some lucky girls.
Yeah.
Week at Disneyland Hotel at Christmas. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
I'm going to go get a Stitch. Hang on.
Oh.
Stitch incoming, as we say.
Stitch.
We got a Stitch.
I believe we have a Nuimo, which will be on top of the drawers.
Yes.
You're learning something of us now, aren't you? Well, let me talk about something. What were we just saying? Oh, Christmas. So, other than David Crockett Ranch, which is our Christmas fave, because we can decorate it, and we go in the car and we decorate it, where would you like to stay for a Christmas stay? Paris.
While you're thinking, Caitlin and Emily, Stitch says, Hal. Hal.
It's got a little top on.
He's got a stripy top. He looks very Parisian. What do you think, Bonnie? What's your answer? I don't know what the question was. This is great viewing.
Sequoia Lodge? I don't know.
I agree. That's a very good Christmas option because you can have hot chocolates in that bar.
What's the cowboy one called?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. Hotel Cheyenne, yeah.
You just want to go back to Cheyenne full stop, don't you?
Do
I do.
Okay.
Bonnie only
yeah.
found out that there was a Hotel Santa Fe last week.
Yeah. Well, I knew that. I didn't acknowledge it at all.
I just finished off the chat. We've got Gina. It's well maftin. That's one, yeah.
Yep, Maftin.
That means warm. Joey says, well done, Bowie. Bonnie. And Julie says, 16 days till DLP. That's no time.
I'm getting really jealous. Everybody is so close at the moment. It's the summer holidays, isn't it?
Close.
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 I want to say, for people who are concerned by Smash Tiki Cup, my replacement has arrived. It's exactly the same. I will say the application of the varnish isn't quite as nice on here. But, you know, this is why I prefer to buy in person, because I can look at every single one and go, this one's the best. But, you know, it's fine.
My question is, who was worried about the Smash Tiki Cup?
Some people must have been. The king is dead, long live the king.
Okay. Any more chat, friends?
The king.
I'm on the Pepsi Max Mango.
I discovered, you may not know this about me, I am a Diet Coke fiend.
You've tried this before, though, and you didn't go for it here in the UK.
Yeah. I'm a Diet Coke fiend. However, I can't have it after like 4 o'clock because it'll keep me up all night. And then when I was in Disney World, I discovered the machines did caffeine-free Diet Coke. So I'm just kicking it back with my fave. And Bonnie is...
Orange juice in a Small World shirt cup.
With pineapple.
Yes.
Orange and pineapple.
Yeah, you've got one part of the stackable Small World set.
John is joining us in the Tiki world. He's got Rio Tropical in a Tiki mug tonight.
Nice.
That's our aesthetic.
Oh, I'm behind on the chat now. Somehow.
Well, while you catch up with the chat, I'm going to get on to some news. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. On the Twitter, I realised there was a long pause while I drew breath then. A stitch in time. On the 26th of June, it was Stitch Day. Can my family tell me why it was Stitch Day on the 26th of June?
I know.
Go on, Bonnie.
626.
Of course.
If you do the dates the American way round,
American 626.
it has to be. It's 626. So, experiment 626 is Stitch Day. They had a morning welcome with Stitch over the train station. There was a central hub show. There was, guess what? Collectible card. There was, in the hub show, there was also smoke bombs on the castle. I've made a note of that, and then I think, Saint mentioned that on their own, it sounds a bit lame. Photo pass magic shots, special meets and greets. There was merchandise. And this prompted me to say, because really this is Ollie Fletcher's, Chris's son's character. He loves Stitch. The Rain family, not Stitch people, really. But we are Tiki people. And unfortunately, we were looking at all this new merchandise and there's some really cool Tiki/Hawaii themed merchandise. It's all got Stitch on it. And I mentioned it to you, didn't I? What a shame. Because we will not buy that.
Yeah, well, you know, I enjoy the film enough, but I just I'm not into the merch for Stitch. I don't want a cup with Stitch on it.
Yeah, it's the character himself. He doesn't do it for me.
Nothing against it really.
Yeah.
A rebel.
And there were Stitch snacks. Now, thing is, I'm having to tell you this in retrospect, so it can't be like, ooh, we'll book a trip, because it was 3 days ago. But I just think that's cool. I also think these are the kind of things, I would never book a trip for something like this, but if I happened to be there and this popped up, it would really make it a little bit more memorable. It'd be like, oh, do you remember that time we went and it was Stitch Day? And the details are good. And it's a reason to just become a regular Disneyland Paris visitor, in that stuff like this is happening all the time. So no 2 trips are ever the
Reasons
same.
to be
That's
cheerful.
exactly what I was about to say.
626.
No 2 trips are ever the same.
So when people say to you at school and stuff, you're going to Disney again, you're like...
I know, and I'm like, well, there's this that's new, there's this that's new, there's this that's changed, there's this today.
And each trip, like you say, has got its own personality.
It's got a vibe. There's a vibe.
A different vibe.
Yeah. Do you know what when Mario Day is? Can you guess when Mario Day is?
Hang on. No.
It's March
3.
the 10th. Mario.
Oh, very good.
That's Mario Day.
Very good.
Let's go.
Let's go.
March winner.
Did you catch up with the chat, or shall I carry on with some more
It
news?
hasn't moved. I don't know where this message from. Was it John? You said
It just popped up on the
Okay,
screen.
and then Andrew says, caffeine-free Diet Coke. That takes me back to the 90s. And
I'll refresh the chat. I've got it now.
I am of the 90s. This is my brand.
And Ruthie says, I've given up the pink G&Ts.
Giving them up. Okay.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do.
Yeah. Who was it who just turned 40 or is about to turn 40?
Carla.
Carla, you might not be one of these people either, but I find after 40 drinking becomes quite a tricky business. It's just not as fun and easy as it used to be. It has to be planned and plotted, and the body doesn't recover from it. Although you seem to cope okay, don't you?
Yeah. I've never really suffered from hangovers I always recover from illnesses very quickly, don't I? If we have the same illness, you'll have it for like a week. I'll have it for half a day.
I do malinger though, to be fair.
You're a malingerer. Yeah, I once got the vomiting bug, and you'd had it, and you'd been really sick, and a few people had it, and we went to a Halloween party, and I felt so sick in the taxi going there, and 6 hours later, I was on my feet singing karaoke, and I'd recovered from the vomiting bug without vomiting. And I know I had it because of the way I felt. It's not like, it wasn't a coincidence. I had it, but I just wasn't sick.
But you spent like three and a half decades of your life doing that, and then just came down with an autoimmune disease. So
Yeah.
Joke's on you, pal.
I know.
Right.
Hilarious. Disney World for me in August, says Kelfie. Counting down the days, Disney World.
I've not got that. Wait, what?
By the Shore. So, artist Jim Shaw will be doing a signing event on September the 23rd. So, I am giving you due notice of this one. If you're a big Jim Shaw fan, then get yourself to Disneyland Paris. And I believe it will be in the Disneyland Hotel. Jim Shaw is the guy who does the figurines that have got like paisley swirl designs on them. Do you know what I mean? Hugh's looking them up now.
Yeah.
So they're like pottery figurines, and the bases are usually like coloured but with swirls.
What's the other ones that are like got geometric things on? Is that the same one?
Oh yeah, no, that's slightly different.
That begins with a B, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Disney statues.
He's well established and he's been doing Disney stuff for years and years and years. He's not like a Disney artist, as in it doesn't work for the Disney company doing Imagineering or anything like that.
But he has been associated with
Brito is the other one.
There he has. Oh yes, no, it's not Brito.
Brito.
Oh, those ones are weird.
Yeah. Jim Shaw. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you like this stuff and you're a big fan, go and get your... You see, when it's a signing, his artwork, for some reason it didn't click. That's going to have to be on like a 3-dimensional thing. So I don't think he's a 2D artist, is he? Maybe he signs the bottom. Maybe.
Should I say this?
Go on.
Those things. Not for me.
That's all right.
Not for me. I've never been interested in those.
That's all right. That's for you, innit?
I was just thinking, should I say I'm an artist? You know, did I need to say that?
I don't think, and I think you'll agree with this, being an artist means you have definitive say over all art in the world, though, does it? It's just like you say, not for you.
No, I mean, you know, should I be supportive of all artists?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But then, you know, not everyone will like my artwork, and that's fine. I just probably won't want them to say it on a podcast.
Well, anyway, let's move on. But if it is for you, and if it's your taste, and you're bothered,
Well, it's clearly for lots of people.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've been going for decades.
it's massive. If you're bothered, get yourself to Disneyland Paris, September the 23rd. Right, dreams come true. Now, we reported on the closing of Disney Junior Dream Factory several months ago. We believed, as I think most of the internet did at the time, that was the death knell for the Dream Factory. However, it has now been announced that the Dream Factory will return in early 2026. My uneducated opinion means that will be pre-February half term. Probably not in January because it's low season, so it won't be worth them doing it. They'll want it open February half term, so they'll probably bring it in beginning of February so they can let it bed in. That's my guess on that. So it's coming back early 2026, but it will no longer carry the Disney Junior branding, and it will be an updated version of the show.
Oh, okay.
And then DLP report said that suggests a new set of characters, which I think is fair. But also because it's on, who was it when we saw it? Can you remember?
What? Who was in the show?
Characters, yeah.
Vampirina.
Fancy Nancy? I don't know.
I think
I'm sure
so.
Vampirina was in there because you were into Vampirina for a bit, weren't you?
Yeah.
But a lot
Once
of those
upon
have
a
been
time.
have been sunsetted, as Disney say.
This is the thing. I think when you're dealing with,
Sunsetted.
Rather than cancelled.
Don't give me the sunset.
no matter what the particular character is, when you're dealing with that age group and you're dealing with the Disney Channel and Disney Plus and stuff, the sort of churn of popular characters happens so quickly. They'll introduce a new one and it'll be a great big thing, and so it makes sense that they're going to bring new characters. Because like you say, when we went to see it, well, no, you'd probably just outgrown Vampirina. You were probably like 8 and you were into her when you were more 6 and 7, weren't you? But now, of course, you've grown up, so you don't care about Vampirina anymore. There'll be new characters for the younger ones and so on and so forth. So this makes sense. Ditching the Disney Junior branding is interesting. Does that mean to fill the theatre, they feel like they need to just get more of the adult and family audience in? Will these new characters even be Disney Junior characters? I will go see it again when it reopens.
Who are the current ones on Disney?
Who's
characters?
big on Disney Plus? See, Bonnie doesn't even have a child's account anymore, do you? So you won't even tell us who's on home screen. I don't know if they would do this, but I know like the little Spidey, the little Avenger, the little squat Spider-Man
Spidey
people.
and Friends.
There you go. Spidey and Friends are big. But that's very close to Avengers Campus, and I'm not sure if that would be a move. I only know this because Peter's so into them.
I do the greetings cards for Spidey and Friends. If you see any Spidey and Friends greetings cards that say UK greetings somewhere on the back,
So I've seen a lot of branding
in small
with
print, then I did most of those.
5 characters. Mickey, Minnie,
That big clubhouse, Mickey's
yeah.
clubhouse,
At
won't it?
work.
Timon, Vampirina, and Fancy Nancy.
Yeah, that makes up what we got. So there's going to be some changes there. We don't know what. Even as an adult, I will go see this. I think the set is great. The kind of effect, they do all the stuff, bubbles from the ceiling and so on and so forth. It's fun. And it's like fully choreographed show, unlike the old Disney Junior one, which was a puppet show, which we actually loved. Because Bonnie was 2 when we saw that, and it was like,
What was the goofy move? It was like...
I got a clip of him on a video, and it looks like he's raving, and the music goes.
Oh yeah,
And it's kind of going like
that.
But yeah, and I would recommend, I worried when it shut before it might be shut because of lack of footfall, but maybe that's not the case with updating it. But I would still recommend adult visitors to go check out the Dream Factory when it's back up, because I think it is it's legitimately staged very well. I don't think it has to be uniquely for, the under fives or anything like that.
Cool pasty, the coldest of the pasties,
Yeah.
says, bring back Bear in the Big Blue House.
Oh.
Did you ever watch that?
No.
We were too old for it, but I had a
Yeah.
little sister, so I saw a bit of it, and it was great.
I was aware of
Bonnie
it.
watched it maybe once or twice. I put it on for you when you were really little, but it was really good. It's just a classic, cozy environment, puppets, a moon that sings.
The thing
Blue
is,
Bear in the...
Jen likes your dress.
the bear in the big blue house. I remember it being quite cute, but it wasn't for me. Well, it wasn't for me. I was too old. I was in my 20s. We're talking here, but
Teens probably.
teens.
Jen likes your dress
Oh, thank you very much.
From
I like my dress as well.
from the UK Pavilion.
No, this one isn't.
Oh, is that not that?
No, that's not that. This is just
right.
This is ASOS. Thank you very much. Yeah, just slightly off the Disney thing. My television diet when I was under the age of 12, we never had cable or satellite when I was young, so I didn't get Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, none of that. And my dad politically didn't agree with advertising for children, so we weren't allowed to watch ITV. So I have exclusively
There's entire
CBBC.
There's entire shows she's never heard of.
Yeah. So it was just CBBC, Saturday morning, CBBC, after school, CBBC, until the news came on at 5 o'clock. That was right, wasn't it?
CBBC.
Neighbours, and then I'd watch Neighbours.
6 o'clock.
So I'd watch Neighbours at 5 and then it'd be news at 6, I think. Or whatever. Anyway, there you go. So I'm pretty rubbish at those old kind of things. Yeah, I've got a gloss on. I keep doing that. There's a bit of a sheen going on.
Have you seen this t-shirt? It's backwards, but I made this t-shirt for Bonnie. It's a quote from The Office.
You have no idea how high I can fly.
Yeah, I couldn't find one that I liked, so I designed one and ordered it off TeePublic or something. I can't remember.
Redbubble.
Redbubble.
It was Redbubble.
We are Office fans. We binge watch this here, and if I'm just going to shout out another podcast, I
Redbubble.
recommend you watch, listen to Office Ladies. If you're an Office fan, they're going through every episode in turn, but with their memories of filming it. It's very good.
Hi, Louise.
Hi, Louise.
Hi.
Louise joins us. Says,
Right.
Hi, guys.
There was a couple of detours there, and I'm going to get back on the straight and narrow. Okay? Yes.
I call it the weave. It's very clever. I do the weave. She's doing
Yeah.
the weave.
I hope it gets me into Office and I can fix the trains. Right, hoist the sails. Oh, we do love a good pun where you change the spelling of the word sails.
Spell it then.
SALES. So, the summer sales have officially started at Disneyland Paris. They will run from the 26th, which was 3 days ago, as mentioned. Is it 4 days ago now? It's so late. I don't know.
3 days ago.
3 days ago. And they'll finish on the 22nd of July. They're in the world of Disney and the Emporium and other places. But there's up to 50% off things. And they tend to be quite good, these sales, quite sweeping. I look at the pictures and you often see quite key items you've never seen before. Like there was this big sort of red fleecy Spirit jersey and I don't remember seeing that. But maybe I've had my head in another cupboard, so to speak. So yeah, if you're there, go and check out the sales, save some money.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Nope.
Nope.
What could I add?
Take pride, lads. Take pride.
Oh, sounds like there's some interference in the microphone.
The microphone is on the phone. So
Testing.
it is crackling, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do about that because it's inside my phone.
Yeah. We'll just have to crack on, I'm afraid.
So,
How bad is it on a scale of 1 to 10? Please let me know, Andrew.
On 1 to kick up to 10.
Anyway.
so as we know, I should have put something rainbowy on here. Never mind. I don't have anything rainbowy to hand. As you know, it is currently Pride Month worldwide, and they are celebrating it in Disneyland Paris for 1 day only. They don't do the full month, but for 1 day only. And it is today. So today's the 29th, isn't it? Yes.
Rainbow? technically. I don't know.
Good save, Bonnie. Good save, branding. So, so they're celebrating it today. Today is their special Pride Day. They were calling it a Pride Parade. I would call it a little bit more than a cavalcade, in that it had a couple of those vintage cars that they have, and then they were covered in rainbows, and then they had confetti coming down on Main Street. They had loads of, I think, cast members in different coloured T-shirts for the rainbow.
Mute and unmute it.
They also...
I just muted it and unmuted it. I won't do anything, but...
Okay. They also had a lot of key characters like the Fab Six and Stitch and so on in special Pride rainbow meet and greet stuff. They were kind of like based on a pearlescent thing, but then with like coloured spots and some small like rainbow lapels and stuff.
Nice.
They were very swish. They weren't Swiss. That would mean they were red and white. They were very swish. And they also had, I think for today only, a popcorn bucket that was white and shaped like one of the Mickey head balloons, but then with coloured hearts all over it, rainbow coloured hearts all over it. And a tumbler, a drinks tumbler, Pride. So those would be limited editions to get those then. It looks fun. Another good day to just happen to be there. In fact, I think if you went for a week this week, you've had a pretty good week for just random pop-up celebrations. Do you like them?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. I thought that was a hat for a second then.
Dare I say, I would like even more rainbow on that. I think the rainbow is quite subtle there with the white backgrounds.
Well, I wouldn't know how I felt if it was full rainbow. I think that's a good amount.
Okay.
Keep it a bit more subtle.
Yeah, fair enough. And also, I'm not sure that they call it... They don't, like, really scream the word Pride. We all know it's Pride, but they called it, like, the Rainbow Parade instead of the Pride Parade that I just called it. And, you know, they kind of pare back on just completely going with that branding, I think. So maybe that's why we've just got individual rainbows on things. But it's good. Good on Disney. That's what I say.
Yeah, I think the crackling subsided. No, I don't think it has, actually.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Bonnie,
Yes.
and say I think Tick and Tack, Chip and Dale, might be my favourite kind of standard meat. I think they are. They're funny. They play off each other because they're a double act, and they give good hugs.
I was about to say, as long as they're huggable, I'm loving it.
They are very huggable. My other one would be, I like Pluto, but particularly when Pluto and Goofy are together.
Oh, yeah.
Because they play off each other, don't they?
But I don't like it when they're stood side by side because they're both dogs, but they're both completely different.
Yeah.
What, Goofy?
The canon is messed up. Goofy and Pluto.
Goofy and Pluto. Pluto's like a real dog, and Goofy's
Hey,
like...
you watch Bluey. Don't get me started.
The guy...
Yeah, but that's consistent.
The guy who voices Goofy. Let me find his name. I've forgotten his name. Oh, search for Woody. I said Goofy. Right. Goofy voice actor. What's his name? Bill Farmer. He says, like, officially, he's known as like a he's some kind of canine goof thing. So he's not really a dog. He's like a dog-like goof.
Is it like...
So he's not really a dog exactly. Is it like what?
In Planet of the Apes, where like Caesar and his tribe first kind of find a higher consciousness, but there are still
It's
apes.
It's like an evolved dog,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Mrs. Geef.
Regardless,
Mrs. Goof.
tips for those people doing meet and greets. Geef. Mrs. Geef is his
Mrs.
girlfriend.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever knew that. She's hot though.
You never see her
Very
face.
pretty. What I was saying, yeah, people who are maybe listening for the first time, they don't go to a lot of Disney parks, or you do go to a lot of Disney parks, but you never do the meet and greets because you think they're ick. Pluto and Goofy are really good ones. Well, Pluto in particular, because if you treat him like a dog, if you like, ask if you can scratch his nose, do ask. ask if he likes his nose scratching, or ask if he likes his belly scratching, or, you know, like pretend to play catch with him or something like that.
They will tell you where to scratch. It's normally on the nose. Like
He'll
sometimes
usually-
you'll say, tickle on the belly, and then
He'll
point
go
at
like
the
that.
snout.
Because you do have to respect the characters that I do think they get. I've heard some really bad stories about them being manhandled.
Well, you've seen that clip of
Gaston.
the Gaston one where she was basically asked to leave.
Yeah. She was getting a bit fresh.
I don't know if she was asked to
Gaston.
leave the park or just to get out of the line, but it was. See, on the one hand, like, yeah, you can't feel free to just grab someone's pecs, but
What?
what was that noise?
Oh, it's a snigger.
I thought there was an airborne toxic event. Anyway, I kind of felt sorry for the lady. Ultimately, I'd be on Gaston's side because you can't go grabbing people, but she was so surprised, and she was like, it just all suddenly turned, and she was, was
Yeah.
like, no, leave.
And sometimes good people do bad things by accident.
Yeah.
And she clearly was not a malicious person, and it all got really awkward really quick.
Yeah.
I felt for her, but they were right to do it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm quite glad that that's on the internet, because it makes people,
Aware.
innocent people just go, oh, okay, then there's boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is really good.
You can't pose with a drink in your hands with a character if you're in a restaurant.
You can't, like,
They'll
even
politely
for fun.
just tell you to put it down.
You can't do joke things like, you know, hold the middle finger up or pretend to do anything on a photo in a photo pass thing. They just won't have any of it. You have to be.
Darth Vader will not choke you.
Yeah.
As me and Brookie found out, because we were doing this next to him, and he said, I don't think so.
Yeah. So all photo pass photographers, and when you're posing with the character, because they have a friend with them, you are becoming part of the Disney brand by having a photo pass photo taken and posting it on the internet, and they just won't let it get out there if it's not appropriate to their brand.
They're very quick, cast members, to know when they don't want to be involved in something. I did a little skit in a shop in the Polynesian resorts a couple of years ago, and I said, "Oh, can I just film a little thing?" And she said, "Sure, but I can't be anywhere near it." And it was just me getting some shaving cream or something and pretending it was a gift from my mother, not my mother, my character's mother. And I was like, "Just that, please." And the cast member was like, I don't want to be in it, but you can film away. So, and she was really quick, she didn't kind of go, yeah, and then go, oh, actually, what are you going to do? She just said, sure, but I'm not going to be in it.
Mm.
Whereas if I'd have just said, can I film, I don't know, she might have said yes to something else, but she was on the spot, she had an answer.
I watched a compilation of children, mainly very young children, meeting characters the other day. And I had a little cry on a Tuesday afternoon because it was just so beautiful. There was one where the princess was, there was a little girl hugging Jasmine. And the characters aren't allowed to break the hug. So while the child is still hugging, the character will still hug it. And it can last for ages. And Jasmine was crying, like genuinely tearing up, because this little child was just nuzzling into her, so happy.
I don't know about this rule, because since I've heard that, every time I watch one of those videos, and I've watched one this afternoon, I don't think it's true that they can't break the hug, because I've seen them, they do a prolonged hug, but I've seen the characters break the hug first. Because there has to be, there has to be a limit. It can't go on for half an hour.
I think there's a way. Look, I can squeeze like that, and then if I stop squeezing, Bonnie probably takes Bonnie will probably break the hug, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it could, some kids could just stay there all day, couldn't they?
I break a hug as I see it coming. No thanks, not for me. Off.
Guys, you might be laughing at home, but it's true. He does.
Not a hugger.
He has corners on him as well. It's very hard to hug you. There's always a corner.
Sometimes I hug him and he doesn't move. He just goes.
He's got his arms crossed and his knees crossed, and he just lets us hug him.
I just endure it.
Thank you. Oh dear.
Because I'm very busy. I don't know what you're supposed to do when you're hugging. I'm like, do I just stop and just take
I'm
it?
very busy.
I've got lots to do.
I'm a very busy man.
Oh.
Very busy man.
So where were we with that? Yeah, characters. So go in and interact. Maybe think about something you're going to say or ask in advance. It's good to, if it's a face character, i.e. one that can talk, it's good to ask them about their movie or ask where another character is. Like, it's always worth asking Ariel, where's Flounder today? Or ask them, did Sebastian make that? Or whatever. Because they're really good at talking about the characters. But the ones who can't talk, it's good to have a little like, do you like my dress? Tell them you love the bow and they'll show it. Do you like my dress? And they'll go, oh, love it, and all this kind of thing. It's good to have those kind of interactions ready, but keep it on brand. I think that's where we got to. Now, I meant to ask you this afternoon whether we were talking about this. So guys, enigmatically, I'm just going to go, are we talking about that?
Oh, yeah, I think we should. Well, I will say though, on this character thing, I found the same with Chewbacca. If you talked back to Chewbacca, you know, like a Wookiee.
Demonstrate.
He doesn't. The 2 times I've tried to do it, he doesn't seem to like it. And I think it's because they know you could subtitle the conversation if you're filming it.
Yeah.
And I do subtitle the conversation. Nothing bad, but they don't want to they don't want to play along with whatever you've got planned. So I have noticed that with Chewbacca, doesn't like to play along.
Sadly.
He'll just kind of like shrug at you or shake his head and walk off when you do it, which is kind of, it's a bit disheartening, but I think I know why.
Yeah. I mean, they have to, they just have to have these rules and protect the brand, and I get it. I mean, sometimes in the moment, I have felt it takes the fun out of it, but on a larger scale, I get why. Right, you talk about this then.
Well, I don't have all the facts, and I don't even know how it came about, but someone tried to stage a marriage with an underage child with guests in DLP, and as soon as these the cast members knew what was going on, they shut it down. That's about all I've got. I don't know why or what the parents of the girl thought. It was all really like. Has it been charged? It's been charged.
I saw this in the middle. You know, we've had the mental me. I was building a set and then I had a break and I saw this and I thought, I can't digest this right now. So I haven't actually read the full story. So I'm going to read the story to you now. This is off the BBC News website. British man charged over wedding, in inverted commas, with child 9 at Disneyland Paris. A British man has been charged in connection with organising the mock wedding of a 9-year-old Ukrainian girl in Disneyland Paris. French prosecutors said the 39-year-old man was a convicted naughty man who is wanted in the UK. His name has not been made public. He was arrested when the police were called to the amusement park on Saturday morning at dawn by Disneyland Paris staff, who were alerted by a guest who had said he'd been hired by the man to play the father of the bride. The man said he had been paid €12,000 to play the role and that he only realised last minute that the bride was a child, according to a statement by Mur prosecutor Jean-Baptiste Bladier. The statement also Bladier. The statement also said the Ukrainian girl who arrived in France 2 days earlier had not been a victim of any other abuse and had not been forced to play the role of the bride. Maybe this was just kind of a little play-acty thing she wanted to do, but yeah. A woman who says she was hired to play the role of a guest told BFM TV that when she arrived at Disneyland Paris, she saw a little girl dressed in white with her hair all done up and saw a woman who picked her up in her arms, and I was shocked. I burst into tears. When I saw it was a child, it was horrific. Around 100 French extras had been recruited to take part in the fake ceremony, which was to be filmed in a private capacity.
I don't understand what's going on, really. Yeah.
So this is Dawn. Right, so saying this is done, this must be pre-park opening. This must be a legitimate hire because you can get married at Disneyland Paris or you can have your own private celebration.
It says the mock wedding may have cost the organiser more than €130,000, £110,000. What is going on?
3 other people, including the 41-year-old mother of the girl, a 24-year-old Latvian woman who was to play the bride's sister, and a 55-year-old Latvian man were also arrested. By Tuesday, only the British man was still being held by police. The British man and the Latvian woman appeared in front of the judge in Muir on the 23rd of June, and the man was charged with fraud, breach of trust, money laundering and identity theft, and placed in a pre-trial detention.
Well, quick thinking by the staff, cast members there at Disneyland Paris. Andrew saying, from a safeguarding perspective, as soon as the staff have any suspicions about something possibly inappropriate, they have to refer it to authorities.
Yeah.
So, quick thinking on their part, whatever was going on. We've also got Dan joining at this this dark time. Dan says, hey, just dropped in to say hi. I'm never really able to make it live, but I always watch back Monday morning. 41 days until DLP.
Woohoo, Dan!
And then people saying just awful and it's crazy about this thing. Yes, we looked to get married at DLP, says Louise. Looked being the operative word, honeymoon instead.
That's right. This is just blowing my mind that this isn't some like little small thing. 100 extras had been hired and they'd set it up. And was it just a game? Was it just a fun game? It's a very high profile place to do anything that is actually illegal. Do you know what I mean? You don't hire Disneyland Paris to do something illegal because it's so public. It's very strange. Anyway, go and read more about that on BBC News.
I just don't get why they're doing it.
She must have just wanted to like do it. Who was meant to be the groom though? They never say that.
That's the question.
That's a worrying thing. Yeah, other newsletters are available.
Yeah. Right, should we go on to something a bit more pleasant?
Yes.
Ruben says, okay, this is in our Facebook group, so I hope we're okay to include it here, Ruben. It says, okay, so we're looking at holidays for next year. We're very lucky and get to do a few breaks a year. However, I can't believe how expensive a half-decent summer break for four of us, 2 adults, 2 kids, has become. The same holiday we booked last year has increased by £2,000. And I'm by no means tight, but I refuse to pay it, lol. We also have a 3-year-old that just refuses to be chill when flying. Her brother's always been a star, but not her. I swear to God, one day she'll vanish and we will find her on the wing like the gremlin in the Twilight Zone.
Yes.
I said, now,
Have you seen that?
No.
we watched the Twilight Zone, me and Bonnie, last week. It was one where they land on this planet with little tiny people and they think that they're gods. Bonnie was good.
A guy goes crazy.
Well, it's good to watch because
It's weird.
Twilight Zone's part of Tower of Terror, and but Bonnie was saying like, what is this program? So it's an anthology program, which each episode is a different story with different cast members.
That's what I didn't understand.
Yeah.
It's like the 60s version of Black Mirror, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know
Anyway,
what Black Mirror is?
The question was from Ruben, has anyone been to Village Nature? I was looking at maybe booking a week break there, but I've heard so many mixed things. Thought it could kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A couple of days in Disney with some centre parks fun included. We've done centre parks over here and it was okay, just very busy. At which point I linked our 2021 video because we went there for a week.
It was very, very, very quiet when we went there, but we went there in 2021 when the world was only just peeking its head out of the curtain.
We had to fill out all kinds of, we had to do admin while we were there, and every day I was trying to get these passenger locator numbers from this company, and they just kept sending us the wrong one, and to the point where I was putting in like in emails, right, I'm gonna have to spell this out for you. You have sent me this 3 times now. I don't need this. I need this. And I was doing this for the entire trip, so that's why it was quiet, because it was a nightmare.
I really liked the actual place where we slept, but there were a lot of creepy crawlies.
Yeah, there were a lot of bugs, and ours hadn't been cleaned very well. There was some chips.
To say it was COVID time, it was
yeah.
worryingly unclean.
There was some food left in the fridge from the previous guests, and there was like a plate of cold chips out or something.
There were a bunch of chips in the cupboard.
But what would you say to Village Nature as a place?
Very good.
Yeah, it was
Very good.
I liked it. I've never been to a centre parks.
I would recommend, personally, if we went again, I would go in the car. Sometimes we fly, sometimes we drive, sometimes we go on the train. It would be one of the times we drove, I think. It's a real bus on the way in, as in it's a bus that people get to work, and it goes a bit of a circuitous route.
I think it was at the time it was €2 each.
It's €2 each a day, so it's not a shuttle bus to the park.
It'll be
like
more
you
than
get
that
elsewhere.
now. It's probably been 3 or 4, I bet already.
So it's not a shuttle bus, it's a bus that you stand at a bus stop to get, and it took quite a long time.
That's in, like near reception.
Yeah, but coming back, it's only every half hour, so you have to check the times and do the things. It's fine and it's doable.
It was good. It was all right with that.
But just preferable, because we do sometimes drive. I would choose to drive on that occasion. I think we had a wonderful time. We did bivouacking or den building. We did miniature golf. We did the go-kart things that you can drive round.
I loved that.
And we did a day at the water park. So we did use the facilities. And I think there's so much there if you've got a family. If it's busier, it might be harder to book onto these things. We had a wonderful time. And it is a really good mix if it's going to replace another holiday.
You go get some pastries in the morning from the place. It was a bit of a walk to get there. It's a good
It was
sort
nice
of
though, yeah.
8 to 10 minute walk to get to the place. But it's all right on a
It
summer's
was a
morning.
nice place. I liked it there.
Yeah, it was nice.
Very beautiful.
Quite a lush environment as well. So people in that chat were saying, so Cheryl was saying, great idea for a holiday. I never thought to do it as a week's actual holiday. I've just always thought about it as just for Disney, like as a base. So we just made sure to just use it as much as we needed to, and then it was also a base on the other days just to go to Disney. Paul says, I've had some friends go early in the year and they said it was great. Ruben is now thinking maybe 4 nights at Village Nature and 3 at DLP Hotel.
Interesting.
Jenny says, the water park there is amazing and it's a great base for a Disney holiday. Just don't expect their apartment balconies / outdoor areas to look like the website, because they don't. They're very grotty and tired. The area out the back of ours, I think there's maybe some seats, but it was very scrappy and we never sat out there, did we?
No.
Because it just wasn't particularly nice.
Only once.
Did we actually sit out there? Our advice is don't go for the cheapest accommodation option, as they all seem the same inside the apartments and are great, though nice activities available. It wasn't too busy either in May, half term this year, even though they said it was full capacity. What was it? Our advice is don't go for the cheapest accommodation option, as they all seem the same.
Or maybe it should be good.
Inside the apartments are great though. Yeah. Anything else on Village Nature? Chris, Chris works on the show. Says,
yes.
My brother went last year and absolutely loved it. He has 3 young girls who love centre parks, and they said it was an ideal base for DLP trips. So I would recommend Village Nature as, but make use of wouldn't recommend it just to use as a base, because that would be a bit of a shame. The water slides are amazing.
Oh, we don't say that lightly. Hugh came off one and he went, go on. I think it was the red one.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
No, I'm not going to. I can't remember what colour it was, but he came off one and he went, go on that one.
At
one point, I went, wee!
No,
that was how he described it to me.
No, I shout something out like,
Oh,
whoa!
yeah. And it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. It was excellent.
Although when I got back from that, Bonnie was limping and crying her eyes out because a gush of water.
They have one of those buckets at the top of the children's park that tips every couple of minutes, and it absolutely bucketed me. And on my way back down, instead of going on the slide, I didn't see that there was a step all by itself, so I missed a step, slipped on the floor, scraped my ankle.
Can I also as well, parents watching will understand this. She was younger then.
I thought you'd broken your foot the way you were limping.
I think she was just about to go 8 for year 2021. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, so she was 7 going 8, or she'd just gone 8. But I'd seen her up the stairs to go down this little slide, and I'd said, I'll go see you come out the bottom of the slide. So I'd then gone back around the apparatus to go to the bottom of the slide, waiting for her to come out. And then I heard
She was 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then I heard my child cry. Now, you know what I mean by that, Mum.
Like a penguin.
Because you can tell your own child's cry, and I could hear my child cry, but I had gone round the other side of the apparatus. She'd come out looking for me because she had a bleeding leg, and we couldn't find each other. And I just had that awful like 5 minutes where I'm going, Bonnie, where are you? I'm here. And then I think me and you kind of arrived at the same time, more or less.
I will say, the most this is going to sound like a dig, but it's not. But the most traumatic things to happen to Bonnie on a holiday are when I've just nipped off for a couple of minutes and I come back. So there was that. I saw her limping around like she'd broken her foot. And the other time was...
I hadn't abandoned you there. It was just bad luck.
But the other time was at Disney World when she turned up crying her eyes out because there'd been a stressful incident with an ice cream. And I was just like, I've only been gone for 2 minutes.
It was a cartoon thing. A little girl, ice cream drops off.
We'd been trying to make our way back for the parade. It was very busy, and she had an ice cream. And
ice cream was like, the cone was like that big, and then the ice cream was like that.
Huge.
And I was holding her hand going this, and I'm trying to keep hold of her hand tight, weaving through crowds like that. And she's going, Mummy, it's dripping. Mummy, it's dripping. And then it went flop onto the floor, and we cried. Didn't we? Both of us, I think. It was trauma. Anyway, we were watching Japan videos last night. And sometimes I do all the holiday planning, but then sometimes Hugh just makes really strong statements. And he went, right, California next year, Disney World again the year after that, Tokyo. And you just said it with such... You were so... Go on.
I'd had 6 or 7 drinks.
I'm holding you to it.
Yeah.
You said it with absolute conviction, which I enjoyed.
I mean, we're not made of money, but, you know, we could save some pennies.
Yeah, if we don't spend on anything else.
Hey, here's a question from Charlotte. She was asking on our Facebook group. Hi all, we've just come back from 4 nights at Efteling. We drove, stayed in a little house on site in Bosrijk. 2 adults, 2 kids, almost 8 months and almost 3 years. Shall I do a fairly succinct trip report on here, or do people want to ask some questions, or shall I send it to Chris directly? Happy to help if there's a need. I just said pop it on there if you want, Charlotte.
I would like that trip report.
Email it to Chris, mailbox at 37disneystreet.co.uk.
I'll tell you why. We're thinking of revisiting the P&O ferry from Hull to Rotterdam as a way of getting to Disneyland Paris, and we would almost drive past Efteling. We'd have to do a detour, but we could go to Efteling. Efteling or Efteling?
Don't know.
Anyway.
Well, Charlotte adds, we had a really wonderful time, and as a die-hard Disney fan, it met my high expectations.
So maybe we have to do that, yeah? So I would love that, please, Charlotte, just for me.
Chris is going, isn't he?
Just for me.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
Wait, where's this? I'm very confused over what this is.
There's another theme park that is like, it's not owned by any big franchise. It's just like a fantasy land in Belgium.
Nice.
Belgium? The Netherlands? Or is it in the Netherlands?
I think so.
I know that, because we want to go see the pandas. If we go ferry and then pandas, Efteling is there.
Netherlands,
my bad.
Yeah.
It's the pandas.
Holland's largest theme park.
We have 3 minutes.
We do. 3 minutes to go. I think we've covered everything that we needed to cover. I think the crackling went away after a little bit, so I think we're okay.
Good to know. We can, because we're not doing...
I just listened back then and I thought, it's come back, but it was Bonnie making a crackling sound.
Because we're not doing extra magic time, we are happy to do an extra 5 minutes on Disney World if anyone has any particular questions about that. Or DVC membership. I don't know what accent that was. I tried. There was something there.
I don't know.
There's something Celtic going on there. Yeah, if anyone wants to ask anything about anything like that, just let us know. If not, I can always just say bye-bye. What did we watch on Disney Plus today? Oh, guys, we're a musical theatre household. I've been putting off watching the new West Side Story for the same reasons I put off watching live-action Disney films. I'm a bit of a purist. However, 5 stars.
Excellent. It was really good.
Really
At one point, we were all just sat watching it. And I know that's like an obvious thing to say, but these days...
Sunday afternoon.
There's always going to be one of us noodling on the phone at the same time and half watching it. We all just sat and just stared at it.
Yeah. Really, really good. And the thing is, I'm so glad somebody said Rachel Zegler is amazing in it. And she was. She was really, like saying, no notes. And I'm glad because I didn't like her in Snow White, but I wanted to like her.
There was still some.
Her.
Yeah.
There was still
Really?
some.
Yeah.
I thought I recognised her.
There was still some auto-tune issues though. They weren't as egregious as on Snow White, where they were literally just sounded like they were just plonking. There was no transition between the notes. It was just I'm up here and I'm down here. But they tweaked a little bit.
Cool.
There was a little bit of auto-tune.
Cool pasty. I love the original West Side Story, so don't think I'll ever watch the latest version. That's what I thought. I'm like, nope, you can't improve on perfection. I won't say they've improved. Watch it.
Yeah,
Watch it.
I'd say watch it.
Yeah. They've not detracted anything. They haven't. You know, sometimes they make really annoying, like modern choices. This is an enhancement of the original work.
John says, have you guys had the chance to see Frozen the musical on Disney Plus yet? I watched it today. Fab show.
That was one of the things we were debating as we went past the side.
Yeah, we kind of went past it.
So it's on the list maybe. Voiceover guy says, could you share with us what it is about Walt Disney World that makes you want to keep going back? Sometimes people just don't get it. I find it hard to explain, and I've only been once since the year 2000. Yeah, people...
You cannot do it in one trip.
People always
You can't do
they come up to me at work and it's always the same. It's always the same kind of person, and they always go. They go. So do you ever think you'll ever go anywhere else then? You know, and they're not being malicious, but I just think, oh, don't ask me that. Like, yes, because we do go elsewhere.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing.
There's a kind of implication there that like, why are you going to the same place year after year?
Here's the thing, because we always said when Bonnie got to a certain age, we would start doing these other holidays, and California being one of them. We've talked about before, we're not just going to do Disney California, we're also going to drive the Pacific Coast Highway. This is the big plan. So it's a bit more of a mature holiday that Bonnie would appreciate with cameras and nature and culture and stuff like that. So we plan to do that. But now I've got to that point where we think that's going to be our next holiday. I'm thinking, but that means it's going to be 2.5 years before I can go back to Disney World. I don't think I can wait that long. And yeah, I've been asking myself, why, Lucy? Why are you so compelled? For me, because we have been 5 times already now, one of the appeals is we know it so well. It's familiar. So it's like we know how to get places. Nothing is scary or stressful or worrying. We're just so chill about it all.
But on the other hand, you know that they're going to have new stuff. And you don't want to have to pack it all in one trip.
There's always new stuff. It's always new and exciting. But also, what this is compared to somewhere like Disneyland Paris or California or elsewhere is because it is literally a world of its own. Once you go into the archway, every bus, every road sign, every shop, every toilet that you use is Disney. So it feels very, very, very bubble, but it's a bubble the size of Manhattan. And it feels so safe, inclusive, accessible for this reason. Even at Disneyland Paris, if you want to go to the next town along, you have to go into that train station of Maya and then, you know, go down and have some rude French person shout at you and tell you to get on a train. Whereas, because they just don't have control over that bubble. They've really got it there, and it's just... You know, like it's just all inclusive.
And as we said earlier, every trip has a different feeling about it, a different style to it. Andrew says, nobody ever judges a family for spending every holiday in Cornwall or Tuscany. It's snobbery, pure and simple.
That's a really good point.
Well, it's the food thing that gets me. There's this idea that, like, I've heard so many times people go, well, it's just all burgers and hot dogs, isn't it? Like... I mean, there's a lot of those, but not at all. You know, there's a sushi.
For me, it kind of is.
Well, yeah, if you're a bit pickier, you're a bit limited, aren't you, Bonnie? But you know, there's sushi places. There's what's it called? Teppanyaki?
Yeah.
What are those places called?
Teppanyaki. No.
Like a
a Benihana.
Benihana type of thing.
Yeah.
There's Chinese, French, Well, there's the World Showcase. There's all the different foods of the world.
Yeah.
And, some of the best food I've ever had is there.
Yeah. Louise is saying that's how I feel about Disneyland Paris. I do as well. My point about the train station was it doesn't worry me too much, that train station, but it is slightly different when you have a slightly bigger area.
Kind of pulls you out of the bubble a bit.
It does a bit. It's when you have to go home. But we don't go to the train station until we go home, except when we've stayed in, what's the town called? Valderup. Valderup. Which I would actually, we should look at maybe doing that in October. I don't know, for money reasons.
Look, Louise says she'll do Walt Disney World when the kids are older, and they will appreciate it. A guy says, I want to create some memories with my 9-year-old. We met a guy there with his teenage daughter, and they've been going since she was 4, and they still found the magic, hoping to get the same magic. There's still attractions.
That's how long it was. Bonnie was 4, but also we consider ourselves a Disney family now, as you know. And I think for Bonnie, that's just part of your childhood, isn't it? Yeah. Disney, it's so huge.
There's still attractions we haven't done.
Yes.
We haven't done. What's the Orbitron called there?
Astro Orbiter.
We haven't done Astro Orbiter.
There's quite a lot I haven't done because I'm a bit of a pansy. I haven't done Space Mountain.
Well, I haven't.
I did that once. Don't want to do it again.
I haven't done Mission Space, but I don't think I will because of travel sickness.
There's a couple of the pavilion screenings we haven't seen. We haven't seen the French one, have we? What?
No.
I'm not too fussed.
I like them.
I mean, I like them, but it's not a must-do for your trip. If you need a bit of a break, though, for some aircon and stuff, maybe, yeah.
It is, yeah. And I think, because we were with another family last time, we weren't going to stop their flow of the day with a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old and say, let's go see Impressions de France. But I think we'll do that next time. I just like doing stuff like that. Oh, Canada. Yeah. I love it. And I cry like that. Never worry about me, guys. If you meet me and we do Disney together, which I think we should do sometime, we should have some kind of meet-up. But if we do Disney together, don't worry if I'm crying randomly, because I do that at Disney. And those cinema screens are ones that do it to me. Awesome Planet, every time.
Yeah. Awesome Planet.
Love Joe Handmaid says, we dream of Disney World food and cocktails and the range of things to do, but in such an easy, safe environment with no language barrier.
Yeah.
We dream of Disney World food, food and cocktails.
Let's not use this as an opportunity to make out that Disneyland Paris isn't a mini equivalent. What I've always said before is if you're in the UK, we have a supermarket called Tesco, and you can have a Tesco Metro or you can have a Tesco Extra, which is your massive superstore. So Tesco Extra is Disney World, and your Tesco Metro is your Disneyland Paris. It's got all the same stuff, just slightly more compact and together. Yeah. All the branding is still there, all the service is still there. And we've got the better rides.
And there's a little bit more shoving.
It's a bit more shoving. We're slightly less good at queuing. We had a thing last week about how good the Brits are at queuing, didn't we? Yeah, but what I was going to say to Louise is this family schedule thing is a thing a lot of family do, and we're doing it with Bonnie and going to Tokyo, for example. It's like, oh, we'll go when she's about 13, 14. That'll be a good age. But I would also say, don't get into the idea that the kids won't appreciate it if they are 4 and 6, or because Bonnie was 4.
Planting seeds.
And it's also it's magical for you.
Friends reference.
It's magical for you because Bonnie might not remember everything from her 4-year-old trip. We've got photos and videos, but we remember. And our memories of her meeting Sully are just so incredibly precious. So I wouldn't let it put you off. But obviously there's finances and family rhythms and schools and stuff like that to consider.
And it's good for the development, stimulating place.
It is. I think DLP will become that awesome destination when the new part opens and more walls come down. It's a fab 3-day trip. Voiceover guy, I agree. And I'm back looking at annual passes, I'll be honest. I'm pricing up our next holiday and I'm thinking, right, are we sensible again?
Are we sensible?
Don't get me wrong, I love DLP too. We're there in less than 2 weeks now and I can't wait. I prefer Disneyland Park to Magic Kingdom. I do a lot.
I think that's because just after we read out that message, you said, let's not use this as an excuse to bash DLP, but I don't think she meant that at you, Joe.
Oh, no, I didn't. I meant it more for myself, not for you. I agree Disneyland Park is better than Magic Kingdom. Like, I massively, massively agree. And sometimes I'm just in Magic Kingdom wishing it was Disneyland Park for certain reasons. It also seems once you've been to Disney World and then your next trip is to Disneyland Paris, it suddenly seems really uncrowded. It feels like almost empty.
I got a great picture of you two walking through Adventureland, and there was no one around. And it's the middle of the day, but it was just a weird moment where just suddenly we turned. It was quite a big walkway. It was near Hakuna Matata, and there was nobody, just you two.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, I did.
I think it's time to go.
I think it is because I just pulled out a big old, room swallower. Right. Thank you very much for spending your Sunday nights with us. We're going to lose Bonnie next week. Well, we're not going to lose her. She's going to be sat down there in the corner.
Sometimes she runs the sound.
She does.
Yeah, I've been able to do that for literally months.
The producer. I think we should actually sit you on a chair there, so you can do it. And we're going to have Chris back. So that'll be nice. Thank you very much. You perked me up, guys. My tiredness has gone. And I've been Lucy. These have been the Rains. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.